So I'm going to do my best to explain this. So a week ago, I think, maybe less than a week, I got on my Spotify, I think it's Discover Weekly is what it's called.
True.
I got a track from the ever popular Dreamcast game. Sorry, I'm spitting. Jet Set Radio. Did we talk about this?
We talked about you talking about Jet Set Radio.
You know that game? So it's by a guy named Hideki something. Can't think of it.
I think you had me play it on the Google.
That's right. Yeah. And so I went to, just because I wanted to know a little bit more about it. Do you guys ever go to discogs.com and like look at
No.
Have you ever used Discogs?
Is it discographies?
My camera might have just cut off.
Oh, really?
I'm getting a phone call.
Okay, well, that's
Yep.
okay.
All right, well, I'm going to just
okay.
start it up again.
Just start it up.
Anyway, discogs.com.
Have you ever used it?
No.
Oh,
yes. Yes, I have.
I would say if you like, music at all, I would definitely say look at it because you can find out like cool things about the group, like maybe who did the artwork or who manages the group for that album.
I mostly used it to find out what releases.
Yeah,
certain...
that's a great. Obviously discography. You can look at all the releases and usually like if the person or the artist is like well known enough, they will like have like everything they've ever done, good and bad. And so, long story short, I go to Discogs to look up the Jet Set Radio soundtrack because I was like, well, I would love to see if I could maybe buy it on CD or even potentially buy it on vinyl because that would be a really cool thing to have, even just as like a shelf piece. And I see that the name of the record label that put out the album is a record label called Polydor Records, Pollydor. So I was like, that's interesting. I go to their page. They've got like 1,300 pages on discogs.com. They've been releasing music since like I think the 30s or something. And last week I was like clicking through their catalog and I was like listening to some of the songs. It was pretty cool. And I actually like heard some songs where it's like, that's a sample of that song that's so crazy that came out on Polydor. Yesterday, I'm watching a video by a guy named Van Neistat, who is Casey Neistat's brother, very popular YouTuber. They had an HBO show together like 20 years ago. It's actually pretty good. If you can find it online, watch it. And in one of his videos, for this like 2 frames, he shows this art collection that he used to like upkeep for some art. And the 2 frames of the one vinyl you see in the whole video about something not related to music, plastered across it says Polydor Records. And I'm just like, what are the odds that those 2 things show up in a week? Like, is that not kind of weird?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
this guy just started his YouTube channel. Like, it's just so weird.
No, I mean it is. I don't have an explanation other
maybe
than
Polydor is like way more well known than I know about.
They have like 100,000 plus entries on Discogs.
I think like the thing about it is that I have never heard of this record label, and I feel like I know at least a decent amount about music and like major labels.
They're owned by Universal.
Yeah. Well, see, I didn't know that, but the thing is it's just like, it's just weird how things like that happen. Have you guys ever had that happen where you see something and then it shows up again? Like,
I mean,
soon thereafter, and you're just like, man, that is super bizarre because I just saw it in passing. It's on screen for like half a second.
Yeah, I mean, nothing as weird as that. I've definitely had that happen where I look into something and all of a sudden it comes up or whatever, or just very different. But today I was talking to my friend Matt about the Legend of Heroes Trails series. They have a bunch of games, and there's a couple that haven't come out in America. And I knew there was like a fan translation that was happening for a long time, but I'd looked into it a while ago, like over a year or something, when I first was starting to play the games, and they weren't done. And then Matt just said, well, finally that game is coming up in the series. Like, you should know about the game. kind of a disappointment we don't have it. And I was like, yeah, it sucks. The translation isn't done. I went and looked, and literally yesterday they posted that they're done with the fan translation. And that's different because it's within the same realm where I would have looked it up. But
Yeah.
that kind of coincidence type thing is very...
Yeah, it's just odd to me. Like, I know it's probably like to like a musicologist, like, yeah, Polydor's fucking huge. Of course
Well-
you saw it. But like the thing about it for me is the two places that I saw it are really like semi-popular video game soundtrack, and then like a YouTuber that is nothing to do with Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I don't know. It's just the links
Right.
are so far apart. It's like, it makes me think of like, have you ever seen people speedrun Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to say that.
That's what it feels like. Like
It's
the
the,
links are so obscure.
is it the 6 or 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah,
Where-
Yeah.
It's like that. I mean, it's like, have
So
you,
much
have you
as-
ever seen people
Yeah,
speedrun
well,
Wikipedia?
I mean, not like speed run, but I knew the game
like
in
as
high
fun-
school
yeah,
too,
it's, like,
where people
fun.
would be like, start on the World War II page and get to Hello Kitty or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And whoever got it in the least clicks wins or whatever,
I don't know. I just had a moment. I was watching YouTube, and I was like, I paused it, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Just a weird feeling.
like you said, the two places that came up is weird. What I mentioned is totally different, but that's like just two games in the same franchise. It was just weird that it just happened yesterday, but it's funny that you even caught it in the frame. Like you said, it's like
I
2
know.
frames. So
It's such a short part. Like, if you saw the video, you'd be like, where
Yeah,
the fuck
'cause
is it?
if you had seen in like the opposite order, if you'd watched that video and then saw the Jet Set Radio thing, you wouldn't have even noticed the first. you
Yeah,
know.
it's just so odd that like because the cool thing about it is that I looked through Polydor's catalog for like a couple of hours one day, and so it's not like it was an ad, because it could have been an ad and it was like just getting
Yeah.
targeted, but it was in a video. It was in the second video ever posted by this guy on his YouTube channel. It's just like, I don't know, just fucking, I don't know.
I'm
Well,
very upset. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be unprofessional.
Oh.